The Willamette River, but worried about just how clean it really is? You're probably not alone, but the city says no worries.
This morning, environmental reporter Keely Chalmers went along with city technicians as they tested the water quality at a popular swimming spot. She's live there now. And Keely, the city says the water's cleaner than it's been in decades.
Yeah, that's right. You know, when it comes to the cleanliness of the water, the city says it is perfectly safe to swim in right now. But it points out the river itself is still running very high. It's running fast and colder than normal. So swimmers, or really anyone who comes out here to enjoy the river, still need to be cautious.
Enjoy. First day of summer.
Which means a kayak trip out on the Willamette for Peggy Anderson and Nancy Rappold, and maybe even a swim.
It looks good to me.
Something they likely would not have done years ago.
I grew up here in the late 50s. You wouldn't swim in it, but now you would swim in it.
In fact, more and more people are swimming in the Willamette these days. And the city says tests like these prove it is clean enough to do so. Once a week between the months of May and September, the city tests the river at 5 popular swimming areas around the downtown Portland area. It says the tests so far this summer show bacteria levels well within safe limits.
The river is fine to swim in. The city is no longer contributing that sewage overflow that was obviously in a lot of people's minds for many, many years.
The city says that's due to the $1.4 billion Big Pipe project. Before the Big Pipe, the Willamette averaged more than 50 sewage overflows a year. The city says that number is now down to about 4.
Come on in, the river is clean enough to swim and enjoy.
But even though the water is cleaner, it is still colder than it normally would be this time of year.
62.1 degrees.
And the current is still very strong. Emergency responders advise anyone swimming in the river to do so with a buddy, and at the very least bring a flotation device if you don't choose to wear one.
The fact of the matter is, when people get in trouble, there's very little time for us to actually effect a rescue. So if the people right there aren't able to perform some kind of rescue or at least throw them something that will allow them to float until we can arrive, they're not going to make it.
Now, the city's actually been conducting these water quality tests for the last 5 years. You can actually track the test results yourself. The city is making all that information available on its website. We have got a link to that page on kgw.com. Back to you.
It does look inviting.